books out and your Know It Short books out, right? So today we're going to talk about, we couldn't do it this morning because we had the GMAT, so I had to rechange our time. We're going to do it this evening. Well, let's talk about visualization. We've talked about this before already. So when we visualize something, when we visualize a story, what are we doing? When we're visualizing a story, what is one of the things that we have to do or look for? Number 5. Who's 5? Who's 5? Celicia, what's one of the things that we have to do when we're visualizing something? So look at our chart on the board. What do you see?
Like to like kind of make up something in your mind as like what you reading from.
Right, so when we're reading a story, when you read a story, do you want to just say it was a door,
No.
they went in the hall? Do you know what color door is? Now we gave a description what the door looked like, what color the door is. Would that help you see the door better? If you went into the hallway and it was a long hallway, in your mind, could you see a long hallway versus maybe you thought it was just a short hallway? Yes? If I walked into this classroom, I had gray walls. We've talked about this before. If I just said there was walls, they had 4 walls, and there was a couple of kids in the classroom. Not even a couple, there were kids in the classroom. How would you know if it was 20-something kids versus 5 kids? How would you know if the walls were red? How would you know if the walls were white if it doesn't tell you? So when we do description, when we're reading a book and they're describing stuff to us, we need to be able to what?
Right.
Visualize it, right? And we visualize by seeing in our mind. Oh, they said it was gray walls. Okay, I see gray walls. When they said, when I walked into the fair and I could smell popcorn, and I can smell, what do we smell when we go to the fair? Hot dogs, cotton candy. So if they said, I walked into the fair with my friends and I smelled, do you start smelling it? When they say the names, a hot dog, can you smell it? When they say popcorn, can you smell it? Mm-hmm. So in the story, when they're writing a story, we're visualizing, what do we see in our mind? What's the smell? What do we hear? What do we taste? How do we feel, right? So today we have to talk about, we're going to talk about recounting our stories. We're going to talk about fables, which we talked about already yesterday. We're going to talk about folk tales. We're also going to describe our characters. When we're doing a story, we have to do what? Do we have to know who the characters are?
Yes.
Why?
Because.
Caitlin?
So can you give us more detail in the story?
More details in the story? Is it for more details in the story? What? Why do you think, David?
So we know like who's talking to the other person because if everyone's name was Clock,
Right.
funny name. I just looked up Clock, and then we won't know who's who, especially when everyone is in the same clothes. We won't know who's who.
Right, so we'll have to know, right? So characters, if we know the character, we know, oh, they have a dog. What's the dog's name? Oh, their mom, their dad's in the thing. Oh, look, they have a sister. Oh, their friend Sarah. If we know the characters and we're reading the story, we can follow along and we know who's what, right? If they just kept saying, oh, and Sarah said, and you're like, who's Sarah? They never even said it. I don't know who Sarah is. So if we know who our characters are, can we follow along in the story better? Mm-hmm. When we do a story, do we talk about the story at the end of the story first or the beginning of the story?
Beginning.
Because it needs to be in what order? Does it sequence? Yes, it has to be a sequence order, right? First, second, third, fourth, right? We need to know, are we going to always tell the end first?
No.
Are we going to talk about the middle first?
No.
No. So we'll make sure we have our sequence in order. So we always have to visualize when we read, think about what they're saying. Can I see it? Because if you can see it, the story's more real. And then you can understand the story more. And you probably will what? Remember the story if you visualize it. Okay? Let's go over our vocabulary for the week. And our vocabulary is in our story of the week. Our first word is tempted. What's this little boy doing?
Looking at the cupcake.
Making himself hungry.
I think I'll take one of those cupcakes. And I'll take maybe a strawberry
And
muffin, macaroons. That's either strawberry. Looks like strawberry, not raspberry, because it's real pink. Does he want everything on there?
No, I don't think so.
He can.
He can. He might want, Mama, can I have this one? I want that, and I want that, and I want that, and I want that, because it's so tempting. They're tempting him. They're putting in front of you saying, but they got a window there so you can't grab it, but they're tempting you. You can have all of this, but you have to ask your mama first, right? So let's look what's tempting me. If something is tempted, it's something you want very much. I really want that cupcake. I really want that cupcake. When I go to the store, they have all the candy in the front. I really want all that candy. And can I get a soda too, Mama? Oh, look, they got a bag of popcorn. Can I get a bag of popcorn too? They are tempting you, right? If something is tempting, it's something you want very much. What about quantities?
I know, not that you're able to count.
Quantities, is there a lot of stuff right there? It's a lot, right? So quantities are amounts that can be counted. So if you go somewhere and they said, Miss Tribble, how many students do you have in your class? What's the quantity of students do you have in your class? Oh, I have 22 students in my class. That's the quantity of students I have in my class, right? I started out with 26, but now we're down to 22. So quantities are the amount that can be counted. Honestly, what does that look like it's coming?
A storm.
Is it a tornado? It definitely is a dark cloud, so it's definitely some type of storm coming. Would you want to be outside in that?
No.
Oh, get electrocuted.
I would not want to be outside in that. If something acts anonymously, it makes you think that something, what's going to happen?
Bad.
Something bad might happen. Something bad might happen. If something happens, you might think something bad might happen. What about upcoming? What's coming up next week?
GMAT.
It's coming. It's coming. Yes, David.
It's next week. I was gonna say the word.
Oh, upcoming. It's coming next week. So they get it on the calendar. They circling it. For your parents, today is not a great day for some of your parents because today is tax day. So some parents have to pay their taxes by today. So it's not a great day for
Millions of dollars.
But that's something that grown-ups have to worry about. They don't have to worry about that yet. But be glad, be glad. Upcoming. Then an event is upcoming. It will take place soon. That doesn't mean that it has already taken place. If it's upcoming, that means it's going to happen soon. It's in our near future. Upcoming is in our new future. It's going to take place soon. Not that it has already taken place. Everybody understand? Proclamation. Proclamation. What's it look like he's doing? What is he doing, number 25? Chauncey, what's he doing?
I think he's ringing the bell.
He's ringing a bell. Well, why do we think he's ringing a bell, number 8? Huh? To pay attention. Okay. Hey, everybody pay attention. I have something to say. Number 4. Who's 4? David.
He's ringing the bell to get every citizen's attention so he can say something important.
So he can say something important. A proclamation is a statement or message about an important matter that everyone needs to know. So this is probably way back in the King and Queen days. Everybody's out in the town. Listen. The King and Queen has said. Everybody listen, the King and Queen has said, right? Does everybody need to listen? Because it might be something that you have to do. It could be, hey, the King and Queen want to give everybody $200 because should you not listen to that? Because they might be like, oh, you know what? You missed it. The king and queen said that was yesterday and you missed it. So always pay attention when they have proclamation because most of the time it's very, very
Like on the intercom.
important. Very, very important. Pungent. Pungent. What's this little kid saying? Something does not smell too well. That's a smell that we do not want in our classroom, right? So if something is pungent, it has a strong smell that may be what? Unpleasant. It's a strong smell that may be unpleasant. Sneaker. Sneaker. These two little boys, like they're up to no good. They're going to do something they probably should not be doing. So if someone sneakered, they laughed in a rude or disrespectful way. So if you walked in and maybe, I don't know, maybe you went to the restroom or something, maybe you have toilet paper on your foot and you didn't know about it, it was on the floor. Somebody didn't pick up on the floor, they should have. And walk away and laughing, and you don't know what's going on, you just see people laughing at you. Is that being nice? Nope. They're sneakering, they're talking about you. They're laughing, you have no clue. So they laugh in a rude or disrespectful way. So those are our vocabulary words for our story this week. So we're going to go to our story this week. Now we already talked about folk's tale yesterday, actually, because that was our story from yesterday. What did we say folk's tale was? What did we say? We say folk's tale was number 9. Number 9. What was a folk tale? Yes.
It gives tales and it talks about the magic of
Not fairy tales. Folk tales. We talked about yesterday. We talked about folk tales. Number 18. Yes.
It's where like it's something that's not like okay, it's something that's fiction. And
Okay.
like it's basically where it's something that like yesterday with the story that we read, it was like the cloud was talking but clouds can't actually talk.
Clouds can't. Right.
And
Right.
clouds can't make food come out the air.
Well, who tells us about folk tales? It's passed down from what?
Generation.
Generation to generation. It might not be true, but it's something that gives us a moral story, right? A lesson. Moral story or a lesson, generation to generation. But today we're going to talk about fairy tales. So fairy tales are traditional tales that tell stories about magical characters and events, which is what Layla was telling us. Fairy tales tells us about magical characters and events. Caitlin, just leave it right there. Have a seat, please. Magical characters and events. So authors of fairy tales tell stories through a plot. The characters in fairy tales may include royalty. I'll give you just a minute. Characters tell stories through royalty. So what's royalty?
like a print.
Like Prince. And what else? J.C. Young. So royalty is usually someone may live in a castle, king, queen, prince, princess, right? So let's see what our story is about. We know that it's a fairy tale, and the name of our story is called Cinder Owl and the Stinky Footwear. It's on page, I think, 381.
Cinder Owl and the Stinky Footwear by Roger Lord, illustrated by Chen Ko.
So when we look at this illustration, what do we see in the illustration?
A boy with a key
I
and
see a boy with a broom, yes. What else do we see with our hands raised?
some
With our hands raised.
onions.
With our hands raised. Chardonnay. Oh, you see a castle. Okay, I see a castle way behind. Imaya. You see, I see some onions right there. What else do we see, Ty?
I see a little bell on it.
Okay, he has a bell. What else do we see, John Sion?
I see mountains.
Do you think it's mountain? Okay, mountains in front of the castle. What else, Janiyah? You see the belt too, things on his belt? Zayden.
I see stink lines coming from the onions.
Oh, see the little wiggly things? Those are smelly lines, right? And because the title says stinky, that probably makes you think that it's probably what? Stinky, right? Might not smell good. Well, let's move on. Let's go on with the story. Okay, well, everybody close your eyes. Everybody close your eyes. You will wear the stinky footwear. Do you see stinky footwear?
Yeah.
You see shoes that stink? And dance was Princess PU. Can you see somebody dancing with the princess?
Yes.
So he carried a clothespin and a bag of cleaning supply. He clipped the clothespin on his nose. Can you see a gentleman with a clothespin clipped on his nose? He gave the stinky footwear a cleaning of a lifetime. So he's cleaning the shoes. Can you see somebody cleaning some shoes to put on their feet?
Yes.
And in no time, the slippers smell like a bed of roses. Can you smell roses instead of smelling popcorn? Roses smell fresh and clean. A bed of roses. If you haven't, let me get roses so y'all can smell them. To the perfect ball, they danced. Even though she smelled like skunks and garlic. Can you smell something really pungent, really stinky, like the worst smell ever? And so you're dancing with somebody who smells the worst ever, but you have a clothespin on your nose and you're dancing with shoes that used to stink. Open your eyes. So you see when you write and you visualize something, when I read something that you write, I want to be able to see it. I want to be able to smell it. I want to be able to hear it. I want to be able to taste it. So when we write, when we read, we need to visualize everything that they're giving us. All the what? Detail. You can't get too much detail. Yes? That's our story of the week. So we've talked about folk tale, which we did yesterday, which is something that's passed down from generation to generation that may not be true. We talked about fairy tales today, which is what? What's fairy tale?
Something not real.
Something's not real, but it's what?
Magic.
Magic. It can be magical. Magic. And sometimes about royalty, princesses, and kings, but it's probably not real. All right, let's do some decoding words. We're going to talk about some decoding words. Words that are going to help us learn how to sound out words, learn how to spell. So today we're going to talk about our code word BCCB. What do you think B stands for? Let's say BCCB. What do you think B stands for? Brianna?
It stands for vowel.
Vowel. So if B stands for vowel, what do y'all think C stands for, Ty?
Consonant.
Consonant. So vowel, consonant, vowel. Right? What are vowels? Number 17. Who's 17? What are vowels, Ty?
Vowel is like A, E, I, O, U.
And sometimes
Y.
vowels are A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y. And everything else is a consonant. So let's look at the first word. Our first word is admit. Admit. So is A vowel?
Yes.
Yes, A is a vowel. Is M a vowel?
You forgot
M
the D.
is not a
You forgot-
Is D a vowel?
No.
D is a consonant. Is M a vowel?
No.
M is a consonant. Is I a vowel?
Yes.
So is it B, C, C, B? Do y'all see that?
You forgot T.
So I'm not talking about C. I'm talking about B, C, C, B. Vowel, consonant, vowel. Vowel, consonant, vowel. B, C, C, B. So when I talk about admit, it's A, D, M, I, T. Yes? So it's B, C, C, B. Yes? consonant, vowel. Can you put your pencil down and listen? Can you put your pencil down and listen? Thank you. Vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel. You're gonna split it down the middle. VC, split, CV, split. Everybody see that? So when I go to my word, I'm gonna split it right between my consonant. AD, the MIT, yes? So then how about that so you can sound it out? If I split it down the middle, so this is admit, right? Or add, what? Mit. Admit. Subject. What about subject? And y'all gonna have 3 seconds to answer. Because you should be able to look at it. Because you know what a vowel is. A-E-I-O-U. Sometimes Y. You know everything else is a consonant. So you're going to tell me where you split it down the middle. Tell me what the VCCV is and where you split it down the middle. One at a time. Subject number, no ma'am, just have a seat. Can't get back up no more. $15. Where's my VCCV on subject? Can number 25 help? Who's 25? Chelsea, can you help? What's my VCCV on subject? Good. U-B-J-E. Vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel. Excellent. So I split it between what two letters, number 13? I split it between what two letters? Huh? Between the B and the J, my two consonants. So it's subject. Subject. So when we get letters, and we don't know how to pronounce it out, and you see that it has a vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel. If you see it has a vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel, split your consonant down the middle, sound out the first half, sound out the second half, and put it together. What about number 17? Forget. What's my VCCV? 17. Who's 17? Ty. What's my VCCV?
O-R-G-E.
Great. 10. Where do I split it? Number 10. Where do I split it? Between the R and the G. Forget. Forget. Who's still having a hard time with that? You are, Joseph? So do you understand A-E-I-O-U and sometimes Y is your vowel? Have you remembered that in your head? So everything else is a consonant, right? So when I look at this word, doctor, first thing I'm going to look for is my first vowel. Is D a vowel? Is O a vowel? Is C a consonant or a vowel? Is T a consonant or a vowel? T. Is T a consonant or a vowel? Joseph, what's your vowels? Do you know them? What are they? A. Is T one of those? So is it a consonant or a vowel? Consonant. Is O a consonant or a vowel? A vowel. So then that is V, C, C, V. Vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel. And wherever your two consonants are, you're gonna put a line right in between the two consonants. Okay? So doc, D-O-C, tor, T-O-R, doctor. You understand? Yes or no? Turn in your know it, show it. Turn to page 219. All right, now let's see what 219 says. 219 is BCCB syllable division pattern. It says divide each. I'm running there, Mommy. I shouldn't. Divide each word in the word bank into syllables. Write the word from the word bank. Everybody should be reading, going along with me in the book. Write the word from the word bank to finish the second sentence in each pair. So let's look at our word bank. It says window. I see I is my vowel, N, D is my consonant, O is my vowel. So window, window. Attic, A-T-T-I, that's my V-C-C-I, attic, attic. Cursor, U-R-S-O, cursor, cursor. Artist, A-R-T-I, that's my V-C-C-I, artist. Thunder, U-N-D-E, that's my V-C-C-B, thunder. Dinner, factory, pencil. So it says, a storm can have lightning. A storm can have lightning. It can also have, what do you think it can also have? A cursor? No. It can have an attic. Can a storm have dinner?
No.
Can a storm have a pencil?
No.
Can a storm have thunder?
Yeah.
So what should we write on that word? I want you to finish the rest. I want you to finish the rest. Make sure you scratch off once you write the word in your word bank. Scratch it off so you don't have to use it again. David. Say what? What's this word? And it says, okay. Now make sure you write on the line. Make sure you write on the line. We're not writing in the air. You can write with an artist. What's these other words I have up here?
Window, dinner,
What's that word? It's A-T.
tick, curse, pencil.
So what do you think it should be?
Pencil.
Make sure we look at every word in our word bank before we put the answer down, so it makes sense. The next page is 222. You need help? I'll be right there. Need help? What are you writing? So 222. 222 says, again, we are still working with BCCB. We're still working with BCCB. Let me finish first, Janine. It says, read each sentence, choose the missing word from the word bank. Again, we have a word bank. Write the word, then reread the completed sentence. So our words are ribbon, remember, mascot, chimney, blister, channel, sentence, insect, and collection. So the first one says, the ferry carries passengers across the, what do you think they carry them across? The chimney? The ribbon? The mascot? The channel? The channel. Do y'all remember how we talked about like the small space where a river goes between the ocean is a channel? It's like a little river that goes between the ocean. It's called a channel. And we don't finish them out. Okay. What does it say? If you have questions concerning your work, raise your hand. If not, we have completed all of it. Go ahead and close 222, 223. When you're done, close your book. And if you're done, before you close it, raise your hand so I can come and look, because then I might team you up with somebody else to help somebody, okay? Because we want to make sure that we all understand our decoding rule, which is what? Vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel. We split it down between the two C's, vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel, to sound it out for words we don't know, okay? Everybody understand? So today we went over what? Went over our vocabulary words. We talked about visualization. We thought about visualization with our eyes closed and pictured our story. We talked about the cinder owl and the stinky boots. Is that what it was? Stinky shoes? Stinky footwear. We talked about how they wrestled with skunks, but in order for him to overcome it, he had to do what with his nose?
Put a clothespin on.
Clothespin on his nose, right? He scrubbed the shoes really well. And our vocabulary words were in it. Pungent. What's pungent mean?
Smell bad.
Ooh, stunk. The shoes, the skunks smell bad. Proclamation. Let's say, hear ye, hear ye. Miss P.U. wants what? A ball, right? Hear ye, hear ye. She wants a ball. Okay, we'll talk about some more of this stuff tomorrow. All right, that's all we're going to do today. We'll talk about some more tomorrow. Okay? All right.